This is code.org, and we are pros now. Let me go ahead and droop the preview here. Okay, so standard stuff, what are we going to end up with? Boom. And notice they painted all the corners. We have 4 buckets of paint. This is going to be a lot of code, but we're pros at this point. So first, instantiate or make an instance of our painter object. Or our painter class. Again, boom, painter is a class like my neighborhood. We're going to create an object from it. We're going to do that by asking it to run the my painter the painter constructor. So painter is the type or the it's the type of object it is. And then they want us to call it my painter new. And then we need it to run, we're making a new painter. We need it to run the painter painter method. I got to switch this out because it's not paint. It is painter. There we are. And now we got to get going on this. So let me actually take a look. Oof. So we have no paint to start. So I'm going to go ahead right there and do my painter. And again, guys, make sure this all matches, right? Exactly. Camel case and all of that. Camel case, by the way, means the start of each word is capitalized, but not the first letter of the whole thing. It's very common for variables in computer programming languages to use. Python's a bit different, but that's whatever. All right, we got a mypainter.move. Now, once we move, we are on top of paint. And since we're pros, we know we can take paint. All right, now let's hit run and see. Test a lot. I make a ton of errors. You probably do too. Oh, look, I made an error. I assumed that we would face the correct way. We don't. This is why we test a lot. All right, so let me go up here, and we obviously need to turn left. Now, turning left will just make us face north. We got to turn left once, twice, 3 times, and we've seen this before. Once, twice, 3 times. Now we move. Now we take the paint. Taking it how many times, though? Up, we're still at 3 because computers are dumb. We have to tell it each time. That will get us to take the paint. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's all gone. And now we need to start painting. Remember, pick whatever color you want. Don't be boring. I have to grade a lot of these. You could go with their example where they just pick white. Now what? Okay, well now I need to move and paint again, right? Let me get some of this code down and then I'll explain it. Alright, so what do we got here? Well, let's make sure it works first. Perfect. And now what? Well, we grabbed 4, right? We took 4 paint, that was all of it, and we've painted 4 times now. So we are officially out of paint. I need to move forward and pick up this paint again. How many times do I need to pick it up? 4 times. Huh. Then what should I do? Well, I should paint where I'm standing. Wait a minute, we already did that. Wouldn't it be nice if we had like a way to repeat code easily instead of rewriting it? That's coming, we'll get there. But for now, I could be lazy, this would work, although code gets really messy if you don't totally understand it and try to do this all the time. So I'm going to write it out line by line. It makes it easier for me to test. Because if I copy and paste something and it doesn't work, well, is it line 17, line 19? I don't know. That broke it. And computers are dumb. We have to tell it. We can't just tell it once. We have to tell it we want each individual one. And now, I'll switch up the color. Uh-oh, I missed one. And this is why we want to test. Before we move, right, I should paint. Cool. Move and paint. Now I'll do this again. And let me get all this together. So this is our first round up here. And then I'm going to get to this next bucket, right? And then I do that. Now I know I have 4 paint, but I'm about to hit the edge. Which is good, because if I just tried to copy paste this all, I wouldn't know what was going on here. Bam. I'll make this yellow so it's easier to see. Now we need to turn, obviously. So now we can just turn once, because we're just going left. And make sure you're getting all this case. Oop, there's not a parameter, right, guys? This is an actual argument or a parameter. We're just telling the computer what we want. You could use white like they do in their example, of course. All right, so I'm going to turn left. Now, we could have turned left before we painted this as well. That would still be correct. Code needs to function similarly, but it doesn't necessarily have one correct answer, right? Your painter would do the same thing as mine if you turned left and then painted this yellow. All right, just want to point that out. Now, once I paint this, I need to, well, move forward. And I don't know, purple. Boom. Now what? Well, this looks like another long one like we had up here. Move forward, paint, 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 move forward, right? If I hit boom, right here, paint bucket, 3 things, paint bucket. Well, perfect. I know the code that is doing that. So I am going to speed up, since this is so much code, I'm just going to do a copy and a paste. All right. You want to avoid doing this where possible, though, because it's really hard to debug. And it learns to type it out. You learn better at typing it out. Boom. Okay, now what? Well, now I'm going to move forward. And I got to pick up the paint. How much paint? I hope you're yelling at me, Mr. Kaiser. It's 4. It's obviously 4. There's a 4. Correct. Good. We got all 4, and now we can paint again. And let's see. Cool. Now what? Well, we need to move and paint. We're pretty good at this by now. Move and paint, and it looks like I'll have to make a left turn. Now this is another situation. I could do it here, or I could do it up here. It will have the same result. I want to prove it. I'm going to now move this one above. Again, if code functions, we're good. There's not exactly always 100% correct. This is still correct. Also, if you want these fancy corners that they have in their example, you would need to stick to the same color on corners. And just to kind of demo that, I'll do it here. So I just painted red in this square. I'm going to go ahead now, and I'll turn left after I paint, though. I like the... But again, both of those would be right. And I would need it here. So now with the whole corner being the same color, we should get these corners. So if you like this effect and want it that they have right here, you can do it like that. Notice it doesn't show over here. That being said, let's keep going. All right, I need to move and 4 more paint. I'll stick to red for now. I'm going to boom. And now what? Well, then I'll have to move. And then what? Got to take 4, right? There's 4. Computers are dumb. Got to take all 4. Bam. That's 4. Let's test. Test a lot. Looking good, and I can start painting again. Now I need to move again. Code runs in order, so you gotta be careful. Now what? Well, looks like I'll have to turn left right here. Boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and slam down some code and talk about it. Okay, let's see what this all does. Cool. And now we're about to step forward and take our last bucket of paint. So I took the paint, I turned left. Oh, nope, I moved and I turned left. And now I'm going to take the paint. I could have waited to turn left. Either way works. And we are pros at this, so we know computers are dumb. They need this 4 times. I'm sticking with red, but you do you. Oh, we hit an issue, and this is why it's important to run a lot. Take painter, yikes. So this is terrifying. We hit an error, and it's occurring early on. What you need to keep in mind is computers are really fast. It has run the entire program, processed it, and the computer sees an error. It doesn't mean that there's been an error yet. I actually know where this error is, and that's the point of this. The error is way down here. Right here. That's the error, right? I didn't turn enough. I run right into a wall, because apparently I'm just bad at left, or something. So, that is going to be the error. Now, we get this immediately, this exception, technically. Don't let it scare you. You just need to go start from the bottom up, and that's why you want to run and test your code so often. Okay, so I'm facing this way, I turn left once. I need to do it 3 times. Bam. Now I hit this wall, now I turn left, and I'm sticking with red, I guess. Oh, wait, turn left, turn red, no. Move forward. Bam. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Did it again. Gotta turn left. We're only turning left. Boom, boom. To turn right, which is what I would need to do, I have to do it 3 times. Cool. I hope you picked cool and interesting colors, right? Make it fun to grade. Or pick one to make this cool path effect. Hey, I hope you're proud of yourself. We just wrote a lot of code. It's going to be really handy when we have a way to repeat code without just rewriting and rewriting it. That being said, onward.